in matters development. Priority list number 1 that I raised with His Excellency is on the matter of our university, the Methodist University, Kenya Methodist University. And one among things is that as one of the private universities, the government under a partnership with the private universities, and we are owed some money, and His Excellency has addressed that matter, and we want to thank God for that. We have raised the matter of health care, which is one of our prime areas of ministry, particularly with the Mawa Methodist Hospital, and I've raised the matter of the government cooperating with us in matters raising oncology department in the hospital. And we are not here to inform His Excellency about what is happening in the health sector, and he has affirmed that through his government, he will look at it, and that is what I've raised with him. On the matter of protection of our mission lands, I've raised this with His Excellency, and he's going to address it. I've raised the matter of leadership and inclusion in his government, and it is up to His Excellency to respond also on that. Yeah. I've placed before him this morning a strategic partnership proposal, which His Excellency will also, at his own consideration, will tell us. I've also addressed His Excellency on the matter of our mission, because mission is at the heart of the Methodist Church, and in fact the Christian calling. I've raised that matter so that His Excellency can respond on our request to partner with us in our missions. And finally, we came, of course, to address with his favor, His Excellency, on the matter of continued and unqualified prayers for his government. So our prayers are not ending here. We will move forward to be a committed church in fostering peace and reconciliation and cohesion. And in that way, His Excellency is private to what we have addressed to him, and also it is prerogative to tell us what he thinks about that. And you know also he is very passionate in mission and supporting churches to fulfill their mission. That is what I've presented before His Excellency this morning on your behalf, and it is my prayer that that is going to find consideration before His Excellency. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Another clap for him here. Tafadhali. It is now my distinct honor and privilege to invite His Excellency, the Deputy President, who will and invite His Excellency, the President. Why don't we put our hands together? Ni fire, si fire. DP, ni fire, si fire. Ni fire, si fire.
You are Michael. Hao ni watu ya kanisa. Sio watu ya siasa sana, ni watu ya kanisa. So unless you're talking about the fire of the Holy Spirit. Mheshimiwa Rais, Mheshimiwa Presiding Bishop, Mheshimiwa Presiding Bishops Emeritus, I can see two of them here. and the leadership of the Methodist Church, bishops, clergy, lay people, good morning. Mr. President, I have listened to the leaders of my church, or the church I go to. They have said several things, and I think all of them who spoke have said that I am a member of the Methodist Church. And it is true. The only small discomfort I have is that they did not tell you that I am also an accredited lay preacher of the Methodist Church. So I listened to the presiding bishop, the conference secretary, and the honorary treasurer. Nobody mentioned that. I got a bit uncomfortable. Then I started asking myself, or maybe my accreditation was revoked and I was not told. Because I remember when Professor Zablon Dambori was presiding bishop, when he just took over from Bishop Emeritus Lawi Matthew, that's when I was accredited as a preacher. And I thought all along I'm still in the role of accredited preachers. So, Presiding Bishop Maromba, please, maybe maybe not here, because today we are all guests of the president, but maybe tukitoka hapa nitakutafuta uniambia kama bado niko kwa list ama ama nilizama. Mr. President and brethren, I am a son of the Methodist Church. My father, who is now a retired minister of this church, got converted in the late 50s. And for about 2 years, he was in another denomination, which I will not say. And that time he was doing something. He was working away from home, and he was a young man. He didn't even have a wife. When he came back home, that's when he encountered the Methodist people, just around 1960. And he joined the church as a member, as an evangelist, later on for more than 20 years, an evangelist meaning an itinerant preacher, just preaching like that, until finally the Methodist Church decided for him and others who had spent almost 20 years preaching the gospel as evangelists, and they did not have a lot of education, so they decided to give them a program to train them to become clergy. So he became a clergyman and served the church another almost 30 years plus, and retired over 20 years ago. The reason I've given this story is because my father told us, as his children, that what attracted him to the Methodist Church, because initially when he got converted into Christianity, it was in another denomination, which I have not mentioned, is because he said, unlike the previous fellowship, he found the Methodists extremely organized, honest, and God-fearing people. He told us that the other brethren had moral and character issues, which he didn't entertain. So they would preach the word, but they had moral and character problems. And you know what that means for young men, now and even that time. So he found the Methodists were very serious people. They preached the word of God, and they spent time to understand the doctrines of the Christian faith, which of course much later myself I came to learn about our foundations, our doctrinal foundations. We believe in the development of the whole person, your spiritual well-being, your social well-being, your finances, and everything around you. So it's a whole of person approach. It's not just preaching to someone to accept Christ as their Lord and Savior, and their character is flawed, they are not organized, their homes are in shambles. So that is what attracted Reverend Kindiki Sr. to Methodism. Working hard, very hard, so that you raise your family well. Saving. And I know, Mr. President, you've been talking to us about saving as a nation. Savings is part of the Wesleyan doctrine that a man must work very hard and must save as much as possible. And thirdly, must give as much as possible. So saving, giving, and working to earn, so that you don't become a busybody, a lazy person, depending on other people, and you do nothing. So these are the things that we grew up learning, and that this is what has brought us this far. Mr. President, I want to say one last thing before I invite you, which is the Methodist Church, just like a few other instituted churches, is a major partner to the state and to the government. They don't just preach the salvation of men and women. They also support the empowerment of men and women. And that's why we have a university. That is why we have many schools and colleges. So we partner with the state to promote education. The Methodist Church partners with the state in the provision of healthcare services. The Methodist Church partners with the state to encourage farmers, get knowledge and empowerment, extension services, so that they can be better farmers and more productive farmers. So, Mr. President, the challenge that we have as a country is, as many other churches, to emulate the Methodist Church in Kenya. And to go beyond the preaching of the gospel and the conversion of the souls of men and women, and empower the citizens of Kenya and the citizens of the world, so that we can have strong people, strong citizens, strong families, people who are not just believers in Christ, people who are not just believers in God, but they are also workers, savers, givers, and strong characters who can build their country, patriotic people who serve their country, and not just people just quoting Bible verses, but everything else they do is destroying the country, demoralizing citizens, cursing their leaders, and doing other things that are not necessarily edifying. The church should continue partnering with the state and with the government. The church can correct and improve governance without necessarily being hostile and divisive and destructive. Mr. President, I've hijacked your meeting. These are your guests. This is your day. Nitatafutana na viongozi wangu. Niko na kesi na hao. Ni kama hawatambui mimi niko kwa listi yao ya wahubiri. I have other things, but Mr. President, I will support you and all the commitments that you continue making. It is my job to follow up and support you together with the other colleagues that are serving in your government to make sure that we actualize the partnership between the government of Kenya, which you lead, and the Methodist Church of Kenya. Once more, thank you very much, Mr. President. Allow me to kindly request that we be upstanding and welcome Mr. President. Tupigie makofi moja, mbili, tatu, tuendelee.
Asante sana. Tafadhali tunaweza keti chini. Our presiding bishop, John Malomba. Malomba. My good friend, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, all the other clergy, ndugu viongozi wa kanisa la Methodist, hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Amen. Very good. Kwanza mimi nataka nichukue nafasi hii niwakaribishe katika makao haya ya Rais wa Jamhuri yetu ya Kenya. Karibuni sana. Najua tulikuwa na appointment ya kukutana hapo nyuma kidogo, lakini haikuwezekana wakati huo, lakini vile Mungu alivyopanga, leo ndio ilikuwa siku ya sisi kukutana. So karibuni sana. Sio leo peke yake. Najua wengi wenu hapa ni watu wenye shughuli mingi. Mko na kazi ya kanisa, wengine hapa ni wafanyabiashara, wengine ni wafanyikazi wa sehemu mbalimbali. Kwa hivyo nyinyi ni watu mko busy sana. Na I don't take it for granted that you have found time to come and fellowship with me. Nasema asante sana. Na Mungu akiwajalia tena, na mkipata nafasi nyingine kidogo, pia tena mrudi mkuje tu. Kwanza nataka nianze kwa kumpongeza askofu wetu presiding bishop mpya. Congratulations my good friend. Pole, nilipata mwaliko wako wa kuja katika I think it was the Sunday before last, or I didn't manage to come, but ni vile Mungu amepanga leo mmefika hapa kama viongozi wa kanisa letu la Methodist, na nimemsikiza kwa makini sana our new presiding bishop, and I can confirm that he is chosen by God. And Bishop, you can count on our support. And I want to ask the leaders here to pray for your presiding bishop so that he can provide the leadership that is necessary for this great church. Kwa hivyo karibuni sana. Nimefurahi tena kwa the sermonette that was made by the presiding bishop that creates a bridge between leaders in government and leaders in our religious sector. We have a common goal. We serve the same people, and I'm very happy that we can work together. You can count on my partnership on my friendship and that of the government of Kenya. Nimeshukuru pia kwa sababu ya the mentorship that you provide to many leaders. Vile tumeambiwa hapa ya kwamba many of the public servants serving in my administration are members of the Methodist Church. Not because sio kwa sababu wakati tulikuwa hatukuwatafuta kanisani, lakini it just shows the background, the mentorship that the church has given. That is why you have grown leaders that are now serving in senior positions in our country. And that includes my deputy. Nasema asante sana. I didn't know why I had a solid deputy until today. Nimejua kumbe ni kwa sababu ya kanisa la Methodist Church. Nasema asante sana. Asante sana. Narudia nasema asante sana. Bishop wetu ametuzungumzia maneno ambayo ametunenea, maneno ya Mungu ya kushirikisha sisi wote. Na pia kama kiongozi wa taifa letu la Kenya and you being citizens of this great republic, nitachukua nafasi hii pia niwaeleze kidogo, kwa sababu nyinyi mnatuombea, mnaombea nchi yetu, mnaombea uongozi wa taifa letu, mnaniombea as president of this country. Na saa zingine pengine hamuna uhakika kama hiyo maombi inafika ama so by me standing here today, it is evidence that the prayers you pray, Mungu anajibu. Na Mungu amejibu maombi yenu na maombi ya taifa letu in a very definitive way. There are many things that we have done as a country, and I am a witness, and I can tell you, I am a witness of answered prayer in the Republic of Kenya. Wakati nimekuja hapa kama rais, nyinyi mnajua kulikuwa na tulitoka katika COVID, chumi ikafungana. Wakati nimefika hapa, kazi yangu ya kwanza ni kuambiwa ya kwamba tuko na deni ya shilingi bilioni 2 dola za Marekani. One of the largest Eurobond debt. Na tulikuwa tunaelekea mahali pa kushindwa kulipa deni. Kati ya nchi 5 kwa Afrika, and I'm telling you this as a Christian, kati ya nchi 5 ambazo zilikuwa na deni kubwa, Kenya was among 5 nations ambayo ilikuwa tu inangojewa siku ya kushindwa kulipa deni. Of those 5 countries, 4 countries defaulted. Kenya did not. Unanielewa? Kenya did not. It is an answered prayer. Tulifanya ile tulifanya. We We had to make very difficult decisions. We had to cut down on our budget. We had to stop subsidies. We had to stop fuel subsidies so that we can consolidate our economy. And as a responsible leader, I had to make those difficult decisions to save our country from default. And because of those decisions, I can stand here today before you as Christians and as citizens of Kenya, that today our economy is different from what it was 3 years ago. Inflation has come down from 9.6 to 4.5%. The exchange rate to our dollar, which was going to close to 165, 167, for the last 2 years, it's now 128, 129. Pesa yetu ya kigeni, our dollar reserves, foreign exchange reserves, ambayo ilikuwa imekuja chini mpaka imefika $5.7 billion. Today, we have the highest foreign exchange reserves in Kenya's history. $12.3 billion. We have doubled our foreign exchange reserves. It only takes God. Yes. So, I am saying this so that as you pray for our nation, remember to thank God for what He has already done. So, our economy is now stable. We have managed to consolidate our economy. The interest rates are coming down. Interest rates on T-bills in 2023 were 16%. Interest rates on our treasury bills today is below 8%. It's come down by half. So we have everything to thank God for. Bishop has told us about the education sector and the debts the government of Kenya has to many universities, including public universities, including private universities. We had a very serious education problem. When I came here, I did the first thing to appoint a presidential working party because CBC had problems. We had shortage of teachers. We had shortage of classrooms. Our funding for universities was inadequate. In fact, some universities could not pay salaries. Public universities, 21 public universities were technically insolvent. By God's grace, we have put things together. We had the presidential party give us recommendations. We looked through our manifesto. We changed course. Now, as I stand here today, we have corrected the CBC. We have aligned the curriculum. Teachers, parents, students, other stakeholders now have clarity on the competence-based education. We have hired the highest number of teachers in Kenya's history. By January this year, we've hired 100,000 teachers as of January this year. We have built 23,000 new classrooms. And we have changed the funding model for our universities. Today, ask any vice chancellor. It's beginning to change. The universities that were technically insolvent are now getting out. So we have, by God's grace, stabilized that sector because education is very important. It is the single most important asset that we can use to equalize our society. When the children of those who have and the children of those who don't have, when they go to school, they become equal. Yeah? So we have changed that sector. And I'm very happy that we are making progress. You people know that in 2022, we had people, kuna watu walikuwa wanavaa sufuria kwa hii town, kwa kichwa. Si mliwaona? Unga imefika 250, iko shida. You know, we had to change the whole plan on how we are dealing with agriculture. And we've done 4 things in agriculture. Number 1, we decided to digitize and to register all farmers. Imagine we were running a sector that we didn't have data. So today we have registered in our database 7.2 million farmers. Number 2, we said we are moving away from subsidizing consumption to subsidizing production. We brought down the cost of farm inputs, whether it is seeds, whether it is fertilizers. We have also driven out cartels, people who took advantage of our farmers. We've cleaned the dairy sector. We have cleaned up the coffee sector. We have removed many people in between, all the way to sugar sector and all the other sectors. Today, our milk production has gone up by 400,000 liters every day. We are the highest producer of milk today in the African continent. Our coffee prices have changed. I know there are coffee farmers here. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Yes. Coffee was 70, 80. Today it is 100, 120, 130, 140. Tea the same. Sugarcane the same. We are producing more maize. So, Mungu ametujalia. And God has been gracious to us. The last 3 years, Mungu ametupatia mvua. Tunamshukuru Mungu. So, God has been good to us. We have done all the other things that we wanted to do. In matters to do with health, which the church is a great partner, we have changed the whole space in health. Because we wanted to make health a right of every citizen. Many people, statistics showed, many people, close to 1 million people, went into poverty every year because of hospital bills. Mtu anaenda hospitali, bill inakuja 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, 1 million. Hakuna njia ya kulipa, tunafanya harambee, tunauza ng'ombe, tunauza shamba, tunauza. So we had to change that. Today, I can confidently tell you that SHA is changing the landscape. It's only 1 year old, but we have now treated using SHA close to 6 million Kenyans. You will not miss in every village a testimony of SHA paying for 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, 500,000 for a citizen in our neighborhoods. True or not true? And it is just 1 year. Mtupatie tu nafasi kidogo. Bado tuko na mahali ya kulainisha. The biggest problem ni tuko naye ni wakora. Unajua kuna mtu anaamka asubuhi kwenda kutafuta vile ya kuiba from SHA. Madaktari nini, mahospitali. So, but we will straighten that. So, in short, I just wanted to let you know that God has been gracious to us. And finally, we have the burden of the young people of our nation. And we spend, as a nation, 30% of all our taxes on education. We spend close to 700 billion shillings every year for education. And it was necessary for us to think, as we train people, as we take people through school, as they go through college, as they go through university, what happens to them when they get out? Unemployment was a very big challenge. It still continues to be a very big challenge. And that is why we have designed, for the first time in the history of Kenya, we have a plan on how to deal with unemployment. With 4 different programs. Program number 1, watu walikuwa wananiuliza, hii mambo ya housing ni mambo ya nini? Nani alikuambia tunahitaji nyumba? Sisi tuko na manyumba zetu. Housing was not just about houses. It was more about jobs than houses. Today, as I speak to you, 500,000 young people in Kenya work in our housing program. 500,000 citizens who are not working, today they are working as architects, engineers, carpenters, masons, plumbers, and everybody in between. We've hired close to 10,000 professionals from universities as consultants to oversee that program. Kenya's skyline is changing. We've rolled out a whole digital jobs program. ICT hubs, business process outsourcing. We have Jitume centers. We have close to another 300,000 young people working on the digital job space. This good girl from the Methodist Church, she's a great lady. Today, Sikizeni, today, we have 540,000 Kenyans who are working outside Kenya that we have connected them to jobs in the last 3 years. Mnanielewa? Na huyu mrembo wenu wa Mutaratara ndiye alitusaidia kupanga. No wonder we succeeded. You know? We have created a green channel. We've organized that space. Watu wengi wananiuliza, wewe mbona unapeleka Wakenya kwenda kufanya kazi nje? Mbona usipeleke watoto wako? Sijui namna gani. It's called, sometimes wanajaribu kuniaccuse at the brain drain. You see, these are people who are going to work outside Kenya. Contracts of 3 years, 5 years. After 3 years, they come back home. They are better exposed and they can do better in our own country. So it's not brain drain, it is brain gain, because we are getting exposure to many of our young people. You know, I can stand here and confidently tell the nation in the last 3 years, we have close to 1.8 million young people who were not working in 2022, they are working today. And we can give you their names and where they are working. So kama tunaelewana. That is what transforming a nation looks like. It has to be deliberate, it has to be intentional, it has to be practical, and we can account for it. Tunaelewana ndugu zangu? So that as you pray for our nation, and as you pray for the success of our nation, you know what to pray for. We still have more that we want to do. It is our intention as an administration to take the country to the next level. We've just stabilized the nation, but we now have a firm foundation, and that is why you have heard me say we now must raise our ambition. There are 3 things we must do going forward. By God's grace, Mungu atatusaidia. And so that as you pray, you can pray for Kenya to go in that direction. Number 1, we still have a deficit in infrastructure. We still don't have enough roads. We don't have a good airport. Our railway is not complete. Our ports are not proper. We need to invest close to 1.5 trillion shillings to do our roads and our other infrastructure. Many of you mtashangaa hii pesa itatoka wapi? Mungu atatupatia. We are going to get money to transform this nation. Leo, unajua, as I talk to you today, ile contracts tumesign ya affordable housing markets, hostels, nini hiyo yote, ni bilioni 650. 650 million. Na hatujakopa pesa ya mtu. Pesa yetu. Tumetumia tu akili. Tumetumia nini? Akili. Sawa sawa. Na neema ya Mungu. Sijui kama tunaelewana. So, unajua nilizungumza wakati mmoja nilikuwa nimeenda kule Ethiopia. Nikasema in the process ya kwamba tuko na program ya housing na nini. We have done contracts of $4 billion. Oh, watu wakanipigia kelele, oh, hiyo ni uongo, hakuna maneno hiyo. It is happening in our own country, my friend. Fungua macho. You know, because you see, there's people who are so negative. They don't believe in their country. They don't believe in themselves. They don't believe in God. They believe in nothing. Huh? So you come, you know, so really, hiyo ni jambo moja lazima tufanye. Barabara haitoshi. Bado tunasumbuana, barabara hapa kidogo, barabara hapa kidogo. Ndio nimeambia wizara, we are designing and prioritizing 28,000 new kilometers of roads to be built in the next 7 years. Tangu independence tumejenga barabara ya lami kilomita 20,000 for 60 years. In the same 60 years, Japan imejenga barabara ya lami kilomita 1,000,000. Mnajua tofauti ya milioni moja na 20,000? Na sio ati wako werevu kutuliko, ni vile tu wako na mpango, and they have the leaders to drive it. So, but we still have a huge deficit. Nikikuja Maua, watu wananiambia, oh, barabara mheshimiwa iko mbaya, barabara ile, which is true. Na ndio tumekubaliana, meanwhile, wakati sasa at the moment, tuko na almost 6,000 kilometers ya barabara tunajaribu kuzikamilisha. So that by next year, God willing, ndio tuanze sasa hii 28,000, tuone vile tutaisukuma. Na tuko na vile tumepanga. Mnanielewa? Kwanza nimeambia my deputy hapa, hii kuna bridge hapo imesumbua sisi, na nakumbushwa kila siku, inaitwa Nithi Bridge. Hiyo Nithi Bridge contractor amefika, ako kwa hapo. Na tumemwambia hiyo Nithi Bridge, we will build a modern bridge there. Si ulionyeshwa design? Kabisa. Yeah. Very good. Sasa najua saa zingine ni mzuri kuwa na msaidizi mwenye amesoma kukuliko. So wakati waliniletea design hii nika approve, lakini nikamwambia pelekeni kwa DP aende profesa mwenyewe asahihishe sasa. So hiyo maneno inasonga namna hiyo. And vile vile kwa mapenzi ya Mungu, either end of this year or early next year, tunataka kuanzisha dual carriageway ya kutoka hapo Makutano mpaka Maua. Si ndio? Ama mnatakaje? So kwa sababu umeona tumeanzisha hii ya kutoka hapa Rironi tunapeleka mpaka kule Mau Summit, alafu baadaye pia early next year tutaanza from Mau Summit huko iende mpaka Malaba, so that we can connect our country and all the other things that we are doing. Jambo la pili ambalo lazima tufanye ni kuhakikisha kwamba tuko na stima ya kutosha. At the moment, stima ile tuko naye Kenya ni kidogo. We have only 3,000 megawatts. 3,000. Nilienda kufungua dam moja hapo Ethiopia. Dam moja iko na 5,400 megawatts. Dam moja. Yetu Kenya hii mzima hii yote 3,000. So we have a problem. We need at least 10,000 megawatts. Kama tutaendesha ile transformation, technology is going to use a lot of energy. Industrialization, manufacturing, value addition is going to use a lot of energy. We cannot develop our nation with the energy that we have. We've done well kwa connect electricity. When we started with President Uhuru in 2013, we had 2.3 million households. Now we are at almost 11 million households. Mebaki tu kidogo, maybe 2-3 million tufikishe stima kwa almost everywhere. But the energy we have is not enough. So hapo we need to do that. Hapo inahitaji investment ya almost $10 billion, maybe that's about 1.4 trillion. Ndio mmesikia nimefanya hesabu how much money we need, kwa sababu guesswork ni kitu mbaya. You must know where you are going, you must cost it. Ama namna gani? Yes. Ndio isikue karata ya guesswork ya pata potea. You must know exactly kutoka hapa tutafika pale na tutafika huko namna gani. And then number 3, we need to make sure that we finish with the problem of food insecurity in Kenya. Unajua mahali tumefika with the population we have, rain-fed agriculture imefika the maximum. We now need to move to irrigation. We need to use 80% of Kenya that today is producing nothing in our other areas. So water harvesting, you have heard me say we are building 50 new mega dams, including High Grand Falls Dam yenye iko hapo between Tharaka Nithi and Kitui, sindio? And many others, so that tuweze kuzalisha chakula ya kutosha, tufukuze njaa completely, na tutumie kilimo kudrive economy ya Kenya vile vile. So these are the 3 things we must do in the next 7 years. Mungu atatujalia. We have already begun raising the money. Niliwaambia it is going to cost us 5 trillion. Mnanielewa? 5 trillion. Na itapatikana kwa mapenzi ya Mungu. Tayari tumeanza hiyo safari ya kutafuta 5 trillion. Kufikia mwezi wa 4 hivi mwaka huu, tutakuwa na pesa ya kutusaidia kufikisha nusu ya hiyo 5 trillion in another 2 months. So sisemi kitu mimi sijui. Pangana. Nitawaeleza vile tutafika. Si niliwaambia tutafanya program ya housing. Mukaniita Zakayo. Leo, go to any part of Kenya. From Nairobi here, go to Kiambu, go to Nyeri, go to Meru, go to any part of Kenya. You will find manyumba inajengwa, masoko inajengwa, hostels inajengwa, and we are changing our economy. Construction industry has grown by 10% in the last 2 years because of affordable housing. So that is how we are going to change our nation. And I am talking to you like this because you are not just citizens, you are also Christians. And apart from doing what you are doing as citizens, you also pray. Sinama hiyo, so that Mungu atujalie ile mpango yote tumepanga tufaulu. Mwisho, neno la Mungu linasema a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's. Sinama hiyo? Yes. Shida tumekuwa naye Kenya ni shida ya savings. And I remember when we came into office with President Uhuru under his leadership, tukasema wacha tubadilishe sheria tukue kama nchi zingine so that we save, because if you don't save, economists tell us investment is a function of savings. You cannot invest what you have not saved. Sindio? So tumebadilisha that sector as well. Today we are in a good place. We are saving more. I just want to assure the country, to assure you as citizens of our nation, that the way we are now saving, in another 10, 15 years, we will be borrowing all our money for development from our own sources here in Kenya. Hatutakuwa tunaenda China, sijui tunaenda wapi kukopa pesa. Shida tumekuwa naye ni sisi pesa yetu tunakula tunamaliza. Chinese wana save, alafu tunaenda kukopa pesa yao, tunalipishwa interest, tunakuwa sisi ndio wajinga. Yeye mnanielewa? Mumesikia Biblia inasema the borrower is a slave of the lender. Ama? So we don't want to be slaves of anybody. So tunashukuru sana. Mimi nafurahi sana. I needed to tell you this because I am your employee. Na unajua lazima mtu report ile kazi alipatiwa amefikisha wapi. Si ndio? Si mlinipatia kura zenu, mkanipatia kazi, si lazima ni report hiyo kazi mlinipatia imefika wapi? Yes. And we want to work together. Please tushirikiane. Mwisho kabisa kuna mambo presiding bishop ameniuliza. Tuko na deni yenu ya university yenu. Sisi tuliwaletea kama serikali wanafunzi, mkawafundisha, hatukuwalipa. That is the truth. Si namna hiyo? Na kwa sababu hiyo tuko na madeni ya universities almost 120 billion. So wakati nimekuja nikasema kwanza, inasemekana ukikutikana umeingia kwa shimo, kitu ya kwanza unafanya, you stop digging kwanza. Unawacha kwanza kuliko, because the more you dig the more unazama. So nikamwambia watu, please wacheni kutuma wanafunzi kwa university so that we stop digging, ndio tujue hii shimo tuko naye tutatoka namna gani. So nimeongea na hawa viongozi, nimekubaliana na wao mtaratara kiasi vile tutapangana. Nimewaambia tafadhali mnipunguzie hii deni kidogo ndio nilipe, na karibu tumekubaliana. So mwezi wa 6 hivi nitapanga vile tutalipa kiasi ya deni yenu ya university. Naona Vice Chancellor ndiye anapiga makofi zaidi. Ndiye ako na shida. So we will pay you. I will at least look for maybe 2 billion shillings to lipe. And then we see. Lakini mtakubali kunipunguzia hiyo deni. Wewe unasikia hapa na Vice Chancellor? Mtakubali tutaongea. Na mimi najua tutakubaliana. Si namna hiyo? Mumeniuliza pia ya kwamba tuko na properties ya kanisa ambazo Mombasa kuna property imejaa squatters, kuna shamba ingine hapa Mathare North hapo. So nimeambia wizara watafute namna, pengine haitawezekana kuondoa wale watu, so tutawatafutia pesa tu walipe, ndio mtaenda kujipanga kivingine, si ndio? I will organize, and I have already connected the necessary people to go and organize so that they give me a report shortly. Vile vile mumetuuliza tusaidiane pale kwa mahospitali, especially oncology, ile President Bishop amesema. Nimeongea na wizara yetu, so tutawaongeza katika ile program ya serikali ambayo tutawapatia equipment ya hiyo oncology, kwa sababu tutasaidiana kulipa through SHA, so we will know how to do it. Pia mumeniuliza ya kwamba tuwe na strategic relationship so that mahali tunaweza kuwasaidia kama serikali na mahali mnaweza kutusaidia kama kanisa tuwe na mwongozo mzuri so that we can synergize, because we are not competitors, we are partners, so that we can create more synergy, and especially on matters to do with education, on matters to do with health, peace building, community engagement, young people. You know, you are training some of the best nurses in Kenya at Kenya. We want to see how we can leverage on the expertise that you are building, you know, to support our universal health program, and also for us to give opportunities for young people from your training institutions to work, not just in Kenya, but also as a global workforce. So tutashirikiana pamoja na nyinyi kwa hiyo maneno. Mumeniuliza ya kwamba pia tuweze kusaidiana kufikisha neno la Mungu mahali haijafika, na kufikisha neno la Mungu kwa wale ambao hawajafikiwa. And I have given a small proposal to the presiding bishop. Kuna mahali nimeenda katika Kenya na kuna watu wameniambia, tafadhali tunataka kanisa ijengwe hapa kwetu ndio tumjue Mungu. Nimewaeleza some of the parts na tumekubaliana tutashirikiana katika hiyo kazi ya mission. Yes. Kwa sababu hata na mimi najipanga nikimaliza hii kazi ya rais. Mnajua mimi nimesema nitakuwa evangelist. So nyinyi mtangulie nimalize hii kazi, alafu tutafuatana huko twende tufanye hiyo kazi ya evangelist. Si ndio? So on the mission space, I have agreed to support the mission. Na wale wa missionary, wale wanaenda kufikisha neno la Mungu, fanya sehemu yenu, nitawaongezea milioni 20. Tafadhali ndio mufikishe neno la Mungu kwa masikio ya wale ambao hawajasikia. Si ndio? Let us support the mission work. Is a very important assignment. Neno la Mungu linasema watasikia aje kama wajaambiwa. Si ndio? So tunataka mtu ya kwenda kuwaambia. Si ndio? Kwa sababu wasiposikia watatulaumu. Hamkuja kutuambia. So tumezama kwa sababu yenu. So we want to see how we can do that. Na kwa sababu pia mmekuja mkaniuliza, mimi pia nawauliza. Munisaidie mambo matatu. Sio ile mnafikiria. We have a serious challenge of drug abuse, alcohol abuse. It is destroying our children. It is destroying the next generation of Kenyans. It cannot be done by the state alone. We can use the law, we can use all the other interventions, but there is a moral issue that the church must address. You know, please, that is my ask of the Methodist Church. The mentorship of our children, the mentorship of our young people, the moral character of the young people of Kenya. Parents, the church, we must step up, because there is a responsibility there that is required of all of us. Yeah, nawaomba hapo. Ya pili, nawaomba hiyo kazi ya mission. Hiyo kazi ya mission ya kufikisha neno la Mungu kwa sehemu za taifa letu la Kenya. It is easy for people to stay in the comfort zone. Tuko na kanisa yetu hapo Lavington, iko na public address, iko na air condition, iko na maneno yote mzuri. We don't want to be comfortable around there. We want to think about those. Kwa sababu kuna watu wengine wale sacrifice ndio neno la Mungu likatufikia. We must sacrifice also for those who hawajafikiwa na neno la Mungu. Si namna hiyo? Alafu ya mwisho ni kuwaomba maombi. Muombe taifa letu la Kenya. Muombe viongozi wote wa taifa letu la Kenya. Lakini zaidi muniombe. Si mnajua maneno ya Wagalatia? Galatia 6 mstari wa 9 na 10. Anasema mngepata nafasi muwaombe, muwatendee mema watu wote. Lakini zaidi muniongeze hapo kwa zaidi. Muniongeze hapo. Si ndio? Yes. So otherwise mimi nawatakia heri, nawatakia baraka ya Mungu. Asanteni sana kwa urafiki wenu. Asanteni sana kwa ushirika wenu. Asanteni sana kwa kunitembelea. Mkirudi nyumbani jameni, msalimie watoto wenu. Msalimie familia zenu. Msalimie familia zenu na sehemu mnakotoka, na Mungu awajalie kwa yale yote mmetarajia na kupanga kama kanisa na kama wananchi wa taifa letu la Kenya. May God in his own grace and abundance give you all the desires that you need for the church and for yourselves and for our nation. Kwa hivyo wacha tumalizie hapa.